Oleg Penkovsky. A name whispered in the shadows, a man caught between two worlds, two ideologies. He was a high-ranking Soviet intelligence officer. Yet he became one of the West's most valuable assets during the Cold War. His story is one of intrigue, betrayal, and sacrifice. Penkovsky witnessed the inner workings of Soviet power. He saw the darkness behind the Iron Curtain. His conscience couldn't bear the weight of his secrets. He made a choice, a dangerous choice. He chose to stand against the Soviet regime. The West knew him by the codename Hero, an apt name for a man who risked everything. He provided critical intelligence to the United States and the United Kingdom. This information would prove vital in the most perilous moment of the Cold War. Penkovsky's actions had global consequences. His courage helped avert a nuclear war. His story remained largely unknown for decades. But the truth has a way of surfacing. This is his story. The year was 1962. The world held its breath. The Cold War reached its terrifying apex. The Cuban Missile Crisis unfolded like a nightmare. The Soviet Union, under Nikita Khrushchev, secretly placed nuclear missiles on Cuba. This island nation was a mere 90 miles from the US coast. The discovery of these missiles sent shockwaves across the globe. The United States felt vulnerable. The threat of nuclear annihilation was palpable. President John F. Kennedy found himself staring into the abyss. The world watched, teetering on the precipice of destruction. The tension was unbearable. Every hour seemed to bring the world closer to the brink. The fate of humanity hung in the balance. Negotiations were tense and fraught with danger. Miscalculation or misjudgment could have been catastrophic. The stakes had never been higher. What drove Oleg Penkovsky? What compelled a decorated Soviet officer to betray his country? It wasn't greed, it wasn't power. It was something far more profound. Penkovsky had become deeply disillusioned. He saw the hypocrisy and brutality of the Soviet regime, the horrors of Stalin's purges, the crushing of dissent, the lies fed to the people. He couldn't stomach it any longer. He believed in a better world, a world free from fear and oppression. He witnessed firsthand the Soviet Union's military buildup. He knew the true extent of their nuclear capabilities. He understood the danger it posed to the world, to his own family. He couldn't stand idly by. He had to act. Penkovsky chose to act according to his conscience. He decided to become a double agent. He would provide the West with the intelligence it needed. This was his way of fighting back. It was a decision that would cost him everything. Oleg Penkovsky had access that was invaluable. He moved within the circles of Soviet power. He saw the plans and heard the conversations. He knew the locations of missile bases. He understood the Soviet military strategy. He began passing information to the West. He did it at great personal risk. He used dead drops, clandestine meetings, and coded messages. Every piece of intelligence was a nail in his own coffin, but he was undeterred. The information he provided was explosive. It confirmed the existence of Soviet missiles in Cuba. It gave the US a strategic advantage. It allowed President Kennedy to make informed decisions during the crisis. It may have even saved the world. Section 5. Averting Armageddon, Kennedy's Gambit. President Kennedy now held a stronger hand. Thanks to Penkovsky's intelligence, he knew the truth. The Soviets were bluffing. They didn't want a full-scale war. Kennedy played a dangerous game. He imposed a naval blockade on Cuba. He demanded the removal of the missiles. The world watched, terrified. Two superpowers stood on the brink. The threat of nuclear war loomed large. But Kennedy, armed with Penkovsky's knowledge, held firm. He refused to back down. The Soviets blinked. They agreed to remove the missiles from Cuba. The crisis was averted. The world breathed a collective sigh of relief. But the danger wasn't over for Oleg Penkovsky. His role remained a closely guarded secret. Section 6, the Shadow War, Dead Drops and Daring Couriers. Penkovsky lived a double life. He was a Soviet officer, a family man, and he was a spy. He used miniature cameras to photograph documents. He memorized information, relaying it during brief encounters. He relied on couriers. These brave individuals carried his messages out of the Soviet Union. They knew the risks. Capture meant certain death. But they believed in Penkovsky's cause. Every meeting, every message was a gamble. He was walking a tightrope. One wrong step and he would fall. But he never wavered. He knew the importance of his mission. Section 7. Betrayal and the iron fist of the KGB. The KGB, the Soviet security apparatus, was formidable. They had eyes and ears everywhere. They were relentless in their pursuit of enemies, and they were closing in on Penkovsky. A sense of paranoia gripped the Kremlin. Leaks were springing. Someone was betraying them. The KGB launched a massive hunt for the mole. The net was tightening around Penkovsky. He was betrayed. The details are still shrouded in mystery. But someone close to him, someone he trusted, turned him over to the KGB. His fate was sealed. Section 8. The price of truth, Penkovsky's legacy. The KGB arrested Penkovsky. They interrogated him relentlessly. They wanted to know everything, who he worked with, what he had told the West. He was put on trial, a show trial. The verdict was preordained. He was found guilty of treason and espionage, sentenced to death. His execution was swift and brutal. Some accounts claim he was incinerated alive. Others say he was shot. Whatever the truth, his death was a tragedy, a hero silenced. Section 9. A silent hero, the world that never knew. The world largely remained ignorant of Penkovsky's sacrifice. His name was lost in the annals of the Cold War, his story a footnote in history, but his actions had a profound impact. He helped to prevent a nuclear war. He saved countless lives. He proved that, even in the darkest of times, courage can bloom. Oleg Penkovsky's story is a reminder that truth comes at a cost, that there are those who are willing to pay the ultimate price for freedom. He was a true hero, a silent guardian, and though the world may never know his name, his legacy lives on. He is a testament to the power of one individual to make a difference, to change the course of history. He is the spy who saved the world. Saved